Hello, welcome to my channel. We're brand spanking new, and here we will be devoted towards Star Wars related content. We'll be reviewing Star Wars action figures, primarily Black Series from Hasbro. We may dabble in other arenas, other name brands, but we're really going to be mostly dealing with Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series, and in particular the Disney Plus shows for the most part. But we will, as we see fit, dabble in other areas. You know, if the action figure warrants, we'll do that. Like what we see before us right here. We've got Star Wars Black Krrsantan deluxe figure, fan channel exclusive. This is not really associated with anything from Disney Plus outside of the character being seen in the Book of Boba Fett, which is what I believe prompted this figure being released. This version of Black Krrsantan is based on his comic appearance, ergo the artwork you see right there on the front of this set, taken right from the Star Wars comics when Black Krrsantan faced off against Ben Obi-Wan Kenobi. So they came out with this. I'm quite sure we're going to have a Krrsantan based on his Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett appearance some point in the future. No word on that as yet. Definitely nothing in the pipeline. The Hasbro team, they have this little program, if you will, where they will let fans and collectors know what they've got coming down the pipeline. So Black Krrsantan hasn't been announced, an updated Black Krrsantan. So they came out with this. So that's what we're going to be reviewing today. So as you can see, once again, this is a deluxe set, whatever that's supposed to mean. Black Series has really toyed with that phrase, deluxe set, where they are giving you just the figure, not much in the way of accessories. And many times the figure isn't even a larger figure, an oversized figure. It's just a regular one. And in some cases, with the accessories, if they had a version of that figure before, they actually cut down on the accessories with their so-called deluxe set. But I digress. We're talking about Black Krrsantan right now. So once we open up, we'll see what he has. So what we'll do is look at the side here, and we can see we've got some comic artwork there showing Black Krrsantan, his weapons, and some scenes from taken from the comic. Then we've got him on the back there. You can see some nice artwork right there. And then on the back, we've got his name running down the spine of this box set, and some more Black Krrsantan artwork. Looking at the top of this packaging, we've got even more. So they went all around for us here. And then even on the bottom, we've got some artwork there. Pretty good. Now, opening the box up to see the inside, this is what we have here. Some very impressive artwork of Black Krrsantan there on the cover, the book-like cover. And on the other side, we have the figure itself and his accessories. Actually have a readout for Black Krrsantan, and it reads, "The ferocious and skilled Wookiee gladiator turned bounty hunter Black Krrsantan has worked for the likes of Jabba the Hutt and Darth Vader." So there you have it. Anyone that doesn't really know about the history of Black Krrsantan, Wookiees in general, they have a law, policy, whatever you want to call it, where they are never to use their claws in battle, in anger, and whatever. And Krrsantan, he used his claws. So he was basically outcast and exiled, and they were actually, the Wookiees, that is, they were actually looking for him, I guess, to do whatever it is that they do to punish their own kind. So Krrsantan was trying to escape, and what happened was the Wookiees' mortal enemies, which are the race from, if you know about Bosk, the bounty hunter, they're called Trandoshan's, and they're the mortal enemies of the Wookiee race. In fact, the Trandoshan's actually regard Wookiees as though they're animals, so they will frequently invade their planet and hunt Wookiees down for their furs, their skins. So a group of Trandoshan's actually landed, and they set out to start hunting Wookiees. Next thing they know, they started getting picked off, right? So they go looking for who or whatever's picking them off. They run across a Wookiee that's like been mortally wounded, been beaten down, and was bleeding out. And they started to get picked off even more. And then that's when Krrsantan appeared. And what Krrsantan did was he basically kidnapped and severely injured a fellow Wookiee just to lure the Trandoshan's in so he could take their ship, which he ended up doing. And the rest, as they say, is history. He became a gladiator and then a bounty hunter, and once again, he ended up working for Darth Vader. He worked for Jabba the Hutt, and as you saw, if you saw the series Book of Boba Fett, you saw that he was working for Jabba's siblings. So, and then ultimately for Jabba himself. For Boba himself. So, but that's somewhere in the future, sometime in the future. This iteration of Black Krrsantan is in his past. This is basically when he was tasked with hunting down Obi-Wan Kenobi on Tatooine. So that's what we know about Black Krrsantan for now. And so what we're going to do is get him out of packaging so we can see what he looks like close up. Before we take a look at Krrsantan, the figure himself, we'll check out his accessories, of which he only comes with one. The reason I say one, even though you see two pieces here, is because this lower piece is really a part of his weapon, which is a sort of crossbow. So what you do is you see there's a gap there, and you connect it to a peg that's at the front of the weapon. Make sure I'm putting it on the right way there. And this is what you have. So this is the lone accessory that Krrsantan comes with, and yet and still Hasbro has designated this set as deluxe. Go figure. So we've got Black Krrsantan on our rotating base, and we're getting a 360-degree visual of this figure. And when he was announced and revealed and shown, it caused a large uproar in the Star Wars collecting community because it was pretty obvious that this was just a repaint and a head sculpt retool of Chewbacca. And they gave him a plastic a harness, full body harness, and of course, like I said, a new head sculpt, and painted in black. And supposedly this is supposed to be Black Krrsantan, but as anyone who is aware of the character, knows of the character, they know that Black Krrsantan is a lot beefier than what we're seeing in front of us right here. This Chewbacca was long and lanky. Krrsantan was large and kind of buff. So yeah, this was definitely a cop out, a cheap out on Hasbro's part. We can only hope for better if and when they come out with a version that's from the Book of Boba Fett. But this is what we have, and people like myself and anyone that has acquired Black Krrsantan, we knew what we were getting when we got him. So, as always, when you get something like this, knowing what's up, they serve as, we'll call it placeholders until we get what we want. So what we want right now is to get Black Krrsantan off of the rotating base up close and personal and see what's up. So here we have Krrsantan up close to the screen, so you can see that different head sculpt at least. And looking at that head sculpt, getting a closer look, you can see that he is sporting a scar. Let's get in a little bit closer to see that. So there we go. You can see clearly the scar over Krrsantan's left eye. Anyone knows the history on how he acquired that scar? Well, he ultimately did find Ben Obi-Wan Kenobi, and how he found him was he actually kidnapped Owen Skywalker and was torturing him for information on the whereabouts of Ben. And he was about to, he went and he hurled Owen off of, he took him up on a, like a large hill or a mountain, whatever, and threw him off. Owen was saved by Ben, who then confronted Black Krrsantan. Hello there. And during the course of their battle, Krrsantan got slashed across his left eye by Obi-Wan's lightsaber, and he's had that scar, of course, obviously ever since. So yeah, so that reflects here. As far as the rest of him is concerned, let's see if we can stay in focus at least. There we go. Looks good with the mouth, the teeth, the incisors, what have you. He's got those eyes that look pretty cool. You can see them better now that I'm got it in focus. So he's got brown eyes, black pupils, and you see the teeth there. Nice work with the pink, in the interior of the mouth and the white teeth. So pretty good. And of course the scar across the eye looks excellent with the you could see that, with the red there. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to get out of this and take a look at the rest of his head sculpt. You see he's got the braids there and the accoutrements on those braids. You see he's got the jewelry, things that's gotten wrapped up, and down there it's a brown, as you can see. So, and they look pretty nice. I have to give him that with the head sculpt. I mean, that's really the head sculpt and the harness are really the only work Hasbro put in to this figure to try to distinguish it from Chewbacca and make it a Black Krrsantan. But I'll give them the props. They did well with the head sculpt. That doesn't let them off the hook though. And so, speaking of that harness, you see it's a full body harness. Some excellent detail, but it's just in a like a sandy brown colored plastic. No other paint details at all, despite around that waist you see all that detail. That would have been nice to have something, some paint along that. And then of course right there in the center of his chest you see some detail, but we get nothing. It's just what you see is what you get. The shoulder pads, he's got the spikes, he's got pouches in the back there, and he's got more in the center of that harness there, more detail, but of course no paint. And then the rest of them is just basically black, just painted black. That's all they did. So yeah, not much to really go over with this particular figure. And as far as his articulation goes, as much as I gave mad props to the head sculpt, the very nature of it with the fur in the front and in the back, And speaking of that, now that I'm seeing it and see having it all black, I almost missed it. He's got more of those braids back here, but of course there's no paint on them. So I mean that almost makes zero sense. You painted the ones in the front because that's what you're going to see, but nothing in the back at all. Just because more times than not we won't be displaying or taking photography from the back. That's a lame excuse, Hasbro. Do better. Anyhow, as far as articulation goes, that very same head, because of that, you're not going to get anything in terms of looking up, looking down. You're not even going to get too much left or right. You can get a little bit, but that's about it. You see, I'm only getting very bare minimum like that. So yeah, in terms of the shoulders, you can get it up. You'll have to raise up on those shoulder pads to get your shoulders up. It will swivel. You're not going to get 360 once again because of those shoulder pads. Here's where articulation really starts to suffer. It already suffered at the head, but single jointed elbows. But look, that's all you get. That's I mean, that's like maybe only 45-degree angle, of course, because it's Black Series. They swivel, and you get with the wrists, you get the swivel at the wrist, and left hand has the horizontal hinge. The right hand also has the horizontal hinge. So that's really all you're going to get as far as that goes. As far as the torso articulation, he has both a diaphragm, which you're not going to get too much of. He goes forward only about that much, goes back only about that much. You can get side to side, and you can get him to twist. You will get something else down below there in the waist area. So that's about all you're going to get. As far as legs, he only does the splits that much, which is very sad. He can lift his legs up close to 90, so there's something to be said there. And he actually can go back a decent amount. He's got the thigh cut, single jointed knees, which of course swivel, and he's not getting 90 with the knees either. He can point his toe only that much forward, and you're not getting anything up because he's got the fur that comes down there. So articulation is, well, let's keep it a buck, it's horrible. And then he does have an ankle pivot, but once again impeded by the fur, and he's got peg holes at the bottom of his feet. Once again, that's pretty lackluster in terms of articulation for this figure. Here's Black Krrsantan with his lone accessory, his crossbow weapon. And I will tell you this, on top of everything else, with all of the cons to this figure, it's even problematic, a chore, just trying to get him to wield this weapon. Yeah, there's not too many good things to say about Black Krrsantan here. And to give you an idea of how tall Black Krrsantan is, I've got him next to Fifth Brother Inquisitor and Tika, both from the Obi-Wan Kenobi line of Black Series figures, and you can see he's quite a bit taller than these two guys, and keep in mind his legs are bent too. And since we were introduced to the live action version of Black Krrsantan on his show, Book of Boba Fett, here he is next to Boba Fett Throne Room. So in summary, the Star Wars Black Series deluxe set of Black Krrsantan, this was a big L. You saw the review. This was just a repaint, and they, meaning Hasbro, got off on it cheap by just giving us a new harness painted black, giving us a new head sculpt. The head sculpt is banging. I can't front on that. It's very nice. But we get no movement. We can't turn the head left, right, back, or forward. The articulation leaves a lot to be desired. Can't even get 45 degree on the elbows, and the knees just as well. You can barely get anything in terms of movement with the torso. So yeah, it is what it is. Hasbro, they went out on the cheap to give us this, so this is what we get. Anyway, thank you guys. This is my first review. Apologies for all the negativity, but you got to call them like we see them, you know. I'm not a shill at all. If the figure is good, I'm going to say it. If it isn't, I'm also going to say that. So it is what it is. I will be uploading videos from my other channel onto this one that are all Star Wars, so look forward to that. And until the next time I do upload another video, please hit the notification so you can find out. Like, share, subscribe. I'm new, so I have no viewers. Anyway, I'm out. Black Krrsantan. It's an L. Take care.